Welcome to another episode of the Uncertainty Here podcast show where we talk about geek culture, news, and lifestyle. I guess this episode or the next few episodes are the specials of
Supanova Melbourne 2014.
Exactly. So we've got our media passes. We are doing our work for it. We are interviewing, so you'll definitely want to stick around over the next few episodes just to make sure that we've got a couple of special surprises. I won't spoil it too much.
Yeah, we got some cool things lined up. We're gonna try to deliver on what we can do with these passes.
Yeah.
It's not all gonna be all work though. We came prepared. We're on the hunt for art.
Yep.
So keep your eyes out, guys. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Cool. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go in.
Let's go. Okay, well, we are live from Melbourne Supanova, and you're watching the Insert Name Here show. We've got a very special guest with us today. We've got the lovely Jill Thompson.
Hello everybody.
Thank you for coming along, Jill.
Oh,
Now, in your wildest imaginations, did you ever think that you'd be interviewed by a little Asian guy in front of an iPhone?
Not in front of an iPhone.
Well, you know what? You can tick this off your bucket list because, dreams come true.
It is. I can go home very satisfied.
Well, welcome. We're very pleased to have you here. We know your work from, you've worked on Wonder Woman, you've worked on Sandman, and I think most famously, though, The Scary Godmother.
I hope most famously. That would be my own Scary Godmother.
Well, for those who don't know, maybe those who aren't familiar with it, can you tell us a little bit about The Scary Godmother?
The Scary Godmother is a character that I created kind of by chance when I was in between jobs with DC and Vertigo Comics. I wanted to be the godmother to my niece who was going to be born, and because of my crazy hair and my penchant at the time for wearing a lot of black, I could picture myself standing in the back of a church, and I thought, oh, I'd be a pretty scary godmother. And when I said that, I thought of this tiny little witch Tinkerbell fairy with little bat wings and a black tutu and a witch's hat, and I sketched her out, and she looked pretty much like that, except she was really small. And she had all black eyes, and then the second time I sketched her, she looked exactly as she does today. So she's like your fairy godmother, but for Halloween, and she has a bunch of monster friends like Bugaboo and Mr. Pettibone, the skeleton in the closet, and she, how do I describe it? She's kind of around to show you that things that are scary aren't really scary.
Oh,
she's all around good, yeah.
Oh, excellent. Well, I can certainly see.
She's been, I've done several books, a bunch of comics. It's been adapted to a play, and there are 2 specials that air on Cartoon Network. So she's kind of all over the place. And I'm also making a doll. I did a Kickstarter last year to get some monies so we could produce a fashion doll, like a Barbie doll.
Well, I can certainly see the resemblance. I mean, but maybe not the wings and the tutu.
Well, I do have this does cover my wings.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, maybe I'll check that out a little bit later. Well, you talked about your Kickstarter project, your successfully funded Kickstarter project.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Don't worry, I will get all of the rewards out to you. It's just taking me, they're all by hand. So.
Good things take time.
Yeah.
Good things take time. So, you're an artist, you paint, you create dolls. What are some of the other things that you're into? I hear your pizza skills are quite legendary.
Oh, well, thanks to whoever said that. Yeah, I love cooking. I like baking. I like making things. So to me, cooking and making food is all part of that. I like to entertain. So. Were
you like this all growing up? As you were creating things?
Oh, I always made things. Very much into crafting, very much into cooking. My grandmother was a great baker, but my neighbor Kathy, who I babysitted for, she would throw these terrific holiday parties, and she would always have me come over to watch her son while she was preparing for it, and then would kind of hijack me into helping her with the party. So I just started to get really interested in cooking for a crowd, and she would whip up these. She would have great Christmas Day open houses where all of the relatives would just come over, and there'd be all this food on the table, and you could come and go as you please. And to me, it was really wonderful, welcoming thing, and I think it goes along with just creating something. I like to tell a story. I like to create for people, whether it's a story that I've painted or create for someone and entertain them, which is another way of telling a story.
Well, you'll have to invite us over to your next little dinner then.
I will. You will just have to.
I'll fly out to it if you'll have me.
Oh, I will. That would be great. Oh, I would love to do that. I keep trying to convince a convention to get a place with a kitchen so I can host something and cook for people.
Well, I know you're from Chicago, so I have to ask you, thin crust pizza or deep dish?
Thin crust. I grew up, there was no, deep dish pizza was this weird novelty that happens in the city that tourists come and eat. But when we grew up, it was always thin crust pizza. Except that we don't cut it in triangles, we cut it in squares.
Ah, that sounds very,
that's
very
probably
creative.
The Midwestern way. That's the way that we got it growing up.
Have you had the famous Australian meat pies yet? Have you had a chance to sample that?
No, I have not. They always seem
Do you
to
know
be
what it
too
is?
big. Yeah, it's a pie with mince in it, right?
Yeah. Haven't had a chance to have one yet.
Nope.
We'll have to fix that, I think.
Okay.
Well, I want to ask you a personal question. Are you a professional wrestling fan?
Yes, I am a professional wrestling fan.
Yes, well...
I am a huge professional
Now is a
wrestling
very good time to be a fan, isn't it? Because you designed the trunks for the current World Heavyweight Champion, the
Yes.
jacket and so on.
I do design all of the gear for WWE Superstar Heavyweight Champ and Daniel Bryan. And he was wearing some of my designs and his winning WrestleMania 2 Sundays ago.
So just to summarize, you're an artist, you paint, you cook,
Yeah.
you create dolls, you design clothing. Am I missing anything else here on your resume?
I'm an avid gardener. I love to garden.
I feel like I've achieved very little, you know. I'm just interviewing people on an iPhone and here
I
you are.
like to do stuff. I don't do well just sitting around. Sometimes I can do things like nap, but I always seem to want to be doing something with my time. So
Well, that's completely
whether it's
the opposite
reading
of us.
or whatever, I like to stay busy.
Well, Jill, where can we see you next? What do you got on the horizon that we can look forward to?
Where can you see my work next?
Yeah.
I have lots of art coming out. Let's see. Some I can't talk about because I'm woefully behind. But I'm doing more Beast of Burden for Dark Horse Comics. One issue just came out a couple weeks ago, and there's more on the way. And I've got a huge project for DC Comics that hopefully I will have enough done that they'll be able to announce it at C2E2 and they'll be able to put it out in the summertime.
You can whisper it in my ear a little bit later and I'll keep that between us. JillThompsonCreations.com, is that still the
Yes,
the
so
website?
ThompsonCreations.com is my new website, which hopefully we'll have more stuff up there, but that's a good way to get in touch with me.
So guys, check out Scary Godmother. It's not scary, I just want to
Yeah,
make sure
and then
that
there's also Magic Trixie, which is another series I do that's for all ages,
All
which
ages.
is available from HarperCollins.
beautifully painted,
Yes.
I might add.
Everything I do is painted in watercolor.
Fantastic. Well, Jill, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And I feel so left. I'm never washing these clothes again.
Oh, I love to hear that.
Well-
Except you can watch.
Well, I think we better wrap it up, and maybe I'll go get you that meat pie.
Oh yeah, I want some meat pie.
See you guys.
That's what she said.
Jill, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate
Thanks.
it.
I hope you can hear it. I'm always afraid that it's not loud enough.
Maybe we'll get the PA guy to tell everyone to keep quiet for the next few minutes, and then we'll
Or I'll
run it again.
We'll do the interview over the PA.